Hello, dear students. So here we start with a series of videos for the amendments applicable for the upcoming exam. Starting with house property, there's a small but very important amendment in the house property, and we will check it with this example. Okay, right? House property, basically all of you know that we are dividing the house property into three types. So there's an important amendment in the self-occupied house property. Let us see. All of you know that when we solve house property problem, the first type of the house property is the let out property. Let out properties which is actually given on the rent. Second type of the property is self-occupied property, where you are staying. It's your residence. So self-occupied property is the property which his own residence, or sometimes it may be unoccupied by the owner due to his employment, business or profession at any other place. Okay, but then the house should be vacant and you should not derive any benefit from the house. If you give the house on rent, then it will be treated as a let out property. So if you stay in the house, or suppose you have a house in the A city, but for your job or other reason you are staying in B city, right? Then still A city house which is not occupied, unoccupied or vacant can be treated as self-occupied property. Now here there's a major amendment for the upcoming exam which will change all your problems. Let us see what it is. Benefit of nil annual value is available up to 2 self-occupied property or unoccupied property. This benefit is applicable for individual HUF occupying 2 self-occupied property. See, earlier it was if you have 2-3 houses for your residence, or you have 2-3 houses which are vacant, then only one house was allowed as self-occupied. Other than this house, remaining 2 houses were treated as third one, deemed let out property. But now from this year, previous year 1920, 2 self-occupied properties, one or maximum 2 properties are allowed. This is the reason behind this is nowadays we are normally having 2 self-occupied property, one for ourselves, one for our parents. So keeping that back in mind, they have amended this from previous year 19 and 20. 2 self-occupied properties will be treated and allowed as self-occupied. So if you remember, you must have solved so many combination problems wherein 2 houses are there or 3. Any one of it you treat as self-occupied, remaining all DLP, deemed let out property. Now the problem and the answers will change. 2 houses. If you have 3 houses, any 2 houses of your choice, you can take it as self-occupied and not one. That's a major amendment. Read the definition of DLP, deemed let out property also. Where the SSE owns more than 2 property for self-occupied purpose, annual value of 2 house shall be taken as nil. All other properties will be treated as deemed let out and taxed notionally, though they are all vacant, but 2 houses are enough to stay. That's what Income Tax Act is saying, and remaining all the houses will be treated as deemed let out. Okay, I hope you are getting. My concentration is on problems. The answers will change. Now, one thing I'm planning to prepare a separate video for interest, and I'll do it in the upcoming video series. And there are, so in that, one thing very important is, if you remember, in case of let out and deemed let out property, interest on loan is allowed on due basis without any upper limit. Clear to all of you? But in case of self-occupied property, interest on loan is allowed 2 lakhs. But from this previous year 19 and 20, you have 2 self-occupied properties. So will you be allowed 4 lakhs? No. Put together for both the self-occupied property, the current year's interest, including the pre-construction interest, everything put together is 2 lakh rupees only, upper limit. Extra interest is allowed in deductions, ATEE. There also amendments are there. I'll come up with more videos for amendments in business head deductions. But in house property, see this, In case of self-occupied, interest is allowed maximum up to 2 lakh for both the self-occupied properties together. Is this clear to all of you? Now I have picked up this example from your study material. I'll try to explain, but you all should solve it in your notebook, right? Very clearly, you all should solve it in your notebook. See, this is the problem I want to read and share with all of you. Ganesh has 3 houses and all the 3 houses are self-occupied. Had it been earlier problem, ma'am, we'll treat all the 3 houses as deemed let out, all the 3 houses as self-occupied, and any one we can take as self-occupied. Now, you will have to work out 3 combination. House 1 self-occupied, 2 and 3 DLP. Sorry, house 1 and 2 both self-occupied, 3 deemed let out. 2 and 3 both self-occupied, 1 deemed let out, and so on. The 3 combinations you have to work out as follows. I have the answer also. I'll share it with you. So now, when you have 3 houses and all the 3 are self-occupied, first, can we just compute the 3 houses income as if all the 3 are deemed let out, just as are working? That's what I have done in the next screen. But to understand that, you should be clear that these are all self-occupied. So there's no actual rent. So you have to follow that step method, high, low, high. Look at my cursor. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is high. I'm doing for house 1. So 375. This or standard rent, whichever is low. So 350. So what will be our GAV? 3,50,000. Okay. Now, irrespective of whatever you take as GAV, if municipal tax is given as percentage, you have to take it on municipal value. I'm again repeating, GAV is 3,50,000, but municipal tax 12% will be taken on 3 lakhs, that is 36,000. See now how we are computing the answer. See, this 3,50,000 is your GAV. Less municipal taxes is allowed only if it is paid by owner in previous year 1920. So 3 lakhs was municipal value, on that 12%, 36,000, 3 lakh 14, and 30% standard deduction is allowed on the NAV. 30% standard deduction is allowed on NAV. So that comes to 94,200, and then there is no interest on loan. So 2,19,000 is the notional income if this is treated as deemed let out property. Now second house and third house like this very quickly if they are treated as deemed let out. Fair rent 275 or 360, whichever is higher. So 360. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. So 360, and on 360, 8% is the municipal tax. And here you have paid interest on repairs also. This problem is there in the study material. You all should solve it in writing, and more chances of these kind of problem coming in CA, CMA exams, because in combinations now there are no 2 choices, there are 3 choices. So 360 we have computed the GAV, less municipal taxes. On NAV you should take 30%, not GAV, and then interest on loan is allowed 55,000. If it is deemed let out and let out, I repeat, actual interest on loan is allowed, right? Same way, third one, fair rent 380 or municipal value, whichever is higher. So 380. That or standard rent 375, whichever is lower. So 375 is allowed. Then same way, compute municipal tax, NAV, standard deduction. This time interest is taken on 2013 July for the purchase of the property, and 175, nothing given. We assume construction is over in the 5 years and full interest is allowed. So these are your incomes if they are treated as deemed let out. This is just a working note. Now can I start with the combinations? Look at the combination 1, option 1 they call it. House 1 is treated, you all know self-occupied GAV is nil, NAV is nil, standard deduction is nil, only interest is allowed. That's why we say that in case of self-occupied property, always you will be showing a loss. House 1, if you treat as self-occupied, is nil because there is no interest. House 2, if you treat as self-occupied, interest is 55, but it is taken for repairs. Now, in case of self-occupied property, if you take interest and loan, and if you pay interest for repairs, today also interest allowed is only 30. Though you have paid how much? 55. So here there will be loss. And third house is deemed let out, so you will take this income. So the first combination, your income is 43,640. Let us go to the second combination. Option 2. House 1, it is nil. House 2, deemed let out from above working. House 3, if it is self-occupied, how much interest you have paid? 175. 175 is very well within the limit of 2 lakh. So your income is coming to 1840. Third option is very important. This alone can be asked in MCQ in the coming exam. First house you are treating as deemed let out. Second house, if you take it as self-occupied, I am repeating, interest is 55, but allowed is how much? 30. Third house, if you take as self-occupied, interest is 175. Now put together these two self-occupied, the interest is 2,05,000. But I told you for two self-occupied property, interest upper limit is only 2 lakh. And so you are getting income 19. Here you are getting 1840. First option you are getting 43. Which option you will go for? Conclusion. मैम मैंने पूरा किया, conclusion नहीं लिखा, you lose 2 marks out of 8. Suppose if it is 8 marks problem. Since option 2 is most beneficial, Ganesh should opt to treat house 1 and house 3 as self-occupied and house 2 as deemed let out, and his income will be 1840. Is this clear to all of you? So the important amendment is two self-occupied properties are allowed, and put together current year pre-construction interest is 2 lakh rupees. Okay, I've tried my best to explain this video. Any doubt if you have, below my video, the link is given to all of you for my email ID. You can share your queries any if you have, and I'm going to come up with more such videos for all the amendments applicable in business ed, in deductions, in capital gain for the upcoming exam. I'm trying to make some revision videos. Share it with all your friends if you like this video. Comment, that will motivate us to make more such videos for all you students. And if you have any more ideas, any more requirement, let me know. Here I'm signing off, Deepti Chheda. Bye bye to all of you. Till we meet again with next video. All the best. Prepare well.